Estamos de volta com o Sahin Alpay, cientista político da Turquia, e vamos perguntar agora sobre a Síria. As you know, I was recently in Lebanon, and there I heard that that Turkey would be allowing the people from the Caucasus Brigade, the Islamists from Chechnya and other parts of Russia, to go into Syria, and also that Turkish Airlines would have created an airline from Aden in Yemen to Istanbul, which would go empty and would come full of militants to fight in Syria. I'd like to ask you if that's true, and what's the sort of involvement that Turkey has nowadays in Syria?
Yeah. This is, of course, probably the most important issue in Turkish foreign politics. Now, you see, this government, when it came to power in 2002, put forward this new paradigm for foreign policy, often referred to as zero problems with neighbors. What this meant was that we are not going to resort to threats of violence or violence in our relations with our neighbors. Instead, we're going to establish dialogues and engage in negotiations and find peaceful solutions to our disputes with neighbors. And not only with our neighbors, but we will spread this dialogue and negotiation kind of foreign policy in all directions. We shall try to establish ties with Brazil. We shall try to establish ties with India, China, all over the world. And this was a very positive policy. Not only it improved the security of the country, it also helped Turkey's economy. It also helps Turkey to get richer and converge with the European Union, which it wants to join so much. And this, one of the more important aspects of this policy was the opening towards Syria. Syria, which had been supporting the PKK, the Kurdish nationalist uprising against Turkey, hoping that this would destabilize Turkey because of the various differences between Syria and Turkey. You know, there were a number of bilateral disputes. I shall not go into them. But this policy made two good friends out of not only Turkey and Syria, but Erdogan and Assad also. But then came the Arab revolutions, and then there was this people's uprising in Syria. And for 6-7 months or maybe longer, the policy of Ankara was trying to persuade Assad that now the time had come for him to open up the regime. But Assad insistently refused these suggestions. In the end, maybe in a hurried decision, Ankara decided that the days of the Assad regime was numbered, and they said, we no longer accept Assad government as legitimate. They cut their relations with Assad and gave full weight support for the opposition. Now, there are some rumors, maybe exaggerated rumors, that Ankara has been helping radical Islamist groups in the fight against Assad. It is possible that some of these reports are true. It is possible that Ankara regarded enemies of my enemy as friends. And it is also possible that not the government, but some marginal Islamist civil society groups in Turkey have provided this assistance. Of course, we should consider that Ankara wants the Syrian crisis to be over because it affects Turkey very negatively. Turkey opened its borders to refugees when we now have 500,000 refugees from Syria. It is a very big issue. And then because of the crisis in Syria, one of the major routes of Turkish trade to the MENA region has been, hindered so that Turkey is having problems reaching these markets. You may find it funny, but it's Israel which helps Turkey reach these markets after relations with Egypt also have soured recently. So the Syrian problem is a major problem, and now the government, I think, is realizing that there has to be a change in the policy towards Syria, and instead of demanding regime change and toppling of the Assad regime, they are probably going to put all their weight behind diplomatic efforts to find a sort of conciliation between the moderate elements on both sides. But of course it's going to be difficult because they have, cut their ties with the Syrian regime.